Love doesn't discriminate between the sinners and the saints. It takes and it takes and it takes. And if there's a reason, I'm by her side. But so many have tried.
Join me in producing a sound that Lin-Manuel has gotten really used to. A big round of applause. Hey, welcome.
Thank you. Oh, boy.
This year, there was a lot of attention at the Oscars to how non-diverse both the nominees and those who won the award were, and how different the Tonys were. You're about to go to Hollywood, more or less. You've been on Broadway in this, what seems like a more diversity-appreciative kind of climate. How do you think about that? And what do you think Hollywood needs to learn? And are you the one to teach it?
I think our incredibly amazing, diverse Tony season that just ended was a fluke. You know, the way Broadway works is there's 3 theater owners, and what's ready to come in, what theater owners think will be profitable to come in, is all based on what those 3 owners bring into their theaters. And there's stuff in the pipeline. There are shows that have been around for a year waiting for a place to land. There are shows that get great buzz and get a theater right away. And we lucked into one of the most extraordinarily diverse seasons I've ever seen in the history of Broadway. And I've actually heard from studio executives and people in charge in very high places saying Hamilton has changed their view on what they can put on schedule, and that makes me very happy.
One of our Twitter followers wants to know if you would ever consider running for political office.
I would rather play the back half of the Horse and Equus in a non-regional production with poor pay than run for anything.
I guess that's a no. Who's the greatest rapper of all times?
Oh, yeah, that's much easier. In terms of, man, that's a good one. I'll give you a top 5. Biggie, Big Pun, Eminem, Jay-Z, Andre 3000. No, wait, Lauryn Hill's got to be in there.
Yeah.
Lauryn Hill's got to be in there. I swap out...
I'm not editing your list, but...
I swap out Jay-Z, I put in Lauryn Hill.
Okay. Women continue to face so many economic barriers. That's certainly true in the developing world where we both work, but it's equally true when you look at the data in the developed world. So there are gaps in every sector, and wages and opportunities, from your business to my business to every business. Can you talk about some of the barriers that you faced in your career?
Inequality. What women earn 82% of what their male counterparts make, kind of on an average. And you do have to shame and guilt them into it. And I did it on my show recently. I was like, I want to be paid the same as Kevin.
I don't know how many people in our audience know what you talked about in terms of the minerals, actually. It's said that 30 to 60% of what's in our consumer electronics, what's in our pockets, are extracted in the Congo, often to the horrible detriment of the women that you see there and those who have been so demoralized and demeaned and degraded in the process. Do you think we as consumers are educated enough about the products we buy? And if not, whose responsibility is it to make us know that?
We are not educated enough what we're purchasing. We don't know some of the clothes that we're wearing right now could have been built by, child labor. But this is where, for instance, Stand with Congo, which is this organization now I'm a part of. You can literally download the app, and it tells you, it gives you a list of publications, what's clean, what's not clean, what's in the phone you're carrying right now, in your iPad and your computer. And it's about making that reach, which is what this campaign is about, is to continually spread the message, to investigate by going on Stand with Congo app and going, hey, I want to know what I'm holding. I want to know how responsible I am as a consumer. Then you, as the consumer, put pressure on that company by clicking a button on this app saying, yes, I want my electronics company to know I care. I want to clean up the trade. It's like blood diamonds. It's exactly the same. We're trying to clean up the mineral trade.
Trafficking, which so many of us understand is still horrific around the world. You've cast really such a critical eye on its existence in the United States. You've said working on this has been life-changing for you, and maybe you could talk a little bit about how and what you've learned and what your sense of the young people that you've interviewed and gotten to know really is, so that people have, from your powerful voice, a way of understanding this incredible scourge.
What I've learned is that this is an epidemic that affects every single woman. All women are vulnerable to this epidemic. And one of the things that I also learned that was life-changing for me was that when I listened to how traffickers relate to women that are being trafficked, I have to be honest with you that it's not very different than a lot of what we see going on in our homes.
And you've met so many of these people. What do you say to a young girl or boy who's been victimized?
It does not define you.
Not who you are.
It is not who you are.